What is a podcast, anyways? I don't even know anymore.
It's just two people babbling into a microphone. The only thing we're missing it. Well, you have a microphone instead of a beer. This is the stupidest way to have a conversation.
Well, it's even better than that because nobody probably realizes like I'm not looking at Paul. Paul
Yeah. Oh,
is
well.
in my purview. He's over here. I'm looking at a camera and actually my daughter's artwork. So,
Oh, I would find that to be very difficult.
well, it hasn't stopped me for how long we've been doing this? 19
No,
years?
you obviously have great experience doing it. It's just I would find that to be
Yeah,
difficult.
so when anybody sees me looking like this, now I'm actually
You're actually looking
Paul.
at me.
Really, Paul,
Hmm.
it's actually a coping mechanism. I just don't want to look at
I
you.
was going to say, like, not looking at me every day probably helps. Suggest that to my wife.
Amazon vomited a bunch of hardware onto the universe yesterday. New Kindle
Yeah.
Kindle Scribe actually looks pretty decent of all the. Actually, their TV wasn't. If it didn't have the stupid Fire OS, like if it was just a dumb display TV, I'd be way more interested in it. But their Scribe looks
You can
good.
bypass that stuff. I got a stupid Roku TV in Mexico, and it's like I will never use the Roku part of it. But honestly, so to me, I'm going to write an article about this, like this the stuff that really kind of struck me. I'd have to go back and look, and I will. But if you go back to last September, the September before that, et cetera, I feel like there were more actual hardware products announced in the past than there were this time.
Oh yeah, they
But
used
the
to
thing
announce
that,
like crazy stuff, like a
oh my
clock
God, it
with
was just,
Alexa.
yeah, they take their entire product line and revamp all of it and add 18 new things. Like it was, every year was crazy. The thing that struck me the most this year was how they were adding functionality to existing devices, right? For example, the ability to have Fire TV inside of a Echo Show, which is their smart display, or the ability, this is genius, the ability to use the current and or current version of the Echo Dot as an Eero Wi-Fi extender. Dude, that is genius. Genius. It makes me want to buy Eero equipment now, and by the way, not a bad choice. The only issue is they have like Wi-Fi 6. They have something they're calling 6 Plus, which is just a tiny additional band and I think faster speeds on Ethernet. On Ethernet. And then there's a 6E version, which is what I really want. But the prices go like for a 3-pack, $199, $299, nice, $699. Wait,
Ooh.
what? Like, yeah. And it's like, oh, if I'm going to upgrade, I need to get 6E. Like, there's no way I'm not getting 6E.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
And yet, it would literally be over double the cost.
Yeah, so like this is
I know.
we're both in the same boat. We both have Wi-Fi. I think mine's 5. Pretty sure it's 5.
5.
Whatever.
Mine is definitely 5. And by the way, that is increasingly stupid. No, because we both have devices that could be way faster. And
Right.
they are literally held back by Wi-Fi 5. Not to mention the interference and
Let me just throw this little noodle out there. In the worst part of my house, my phone on my Wi-Fi gets about 37, 38 megs down. Let's pretend it was 138. Would my life change?
Yeah. I have the same problem. Like when I work up on the bed, which is in the far corner of the house, I'm building the book. And so right now the book is 80 to 90 megabytes, something like that. If I download it here, I click on it to download, I click on the download and it opens. When I'm upstairs, I click on it to download and then it sits there and a little circle goes and it's like.
Well, that's because you hardwired that PC in years ago, Paul.
Moving on. Anyway, I don't want Amazon smart speakers all over my house, but it is very interesting, this notion that you could have a chain of 2 maybe out to the far corner of the house, and for a very small amount of, a relatively small amount of money, get really, like we talk about this, I have issues with connectivity in the corners, of the home, which is where I often am. Music night happens out in that sunroom over there, and then I work a lot from the bedroom.
So here's like the dumb part. I mean, I'm probably going to die of radiation poisoning anyways in my house. So when I originally got this Amplify HD, they sent it as a review unit. And they ended up sending 2 of them for reasons I'll never understand. And then at one point, they sent me another extender. So in my 2,400 square foot finished domicile, this includes upstairs and downstairs, I think I have the base unit and 5 repeaters. Paul, I can sit on my neighbor's front porch across the street and still get like 15 down. It's
amazing.
stupid.
Right.
So to go to the point being, to go spend $700 to get
6 to 6E too. You're opening up a whole new band.
Yeah, no, 6E. I know. Don't talk.
Many more devices.
Don't talk me into this. I need to send my kid to college.
Well, look, there are probably cheaper 6E solutions. It's just that I saw this Amazon thing and I thought to myself, this solves a problem I have. It also causes a problem because, like I said, if this thing went like $199, $299, $399, I would have already ordered it.
Yep.
You know, but it's $699, and it's like
yeah. I don't know, but I think when I eventually do move, I'm still waiting for Amplify to get their butt in sync gear and get something out that matches. They've got this alien thing, but it's not. I don't think it's 6E. I don't think. And it's either going to be the Amplify, the Google, or the Arrow. I mean, at this point, because
so Google's going to announce their thing
right
in 2 weeks, or in a week actually, a week from Tuesday or something. And then obviously there are other things. I mean, they're whatever. There are all kinds of solutions, but I kind of like the notion of, and I think you do too, going with a provider of smart home stuff. You know, like a platform maker, right? So Amazon and Google are. And Apple would be the third one. They're kind of big smart home platform, you know, top of the tier thing. And I just feel like, I don't know what I'm talking about. For some reason, I just have it in my head. Like I want to go with one of those guys. Apple doesn't make mesh. They don't make any wireless.
To me, the more attractive option, at least now, is the Google one, only because I'm assuming, and this is a bold assumption, that it would use the same Nest Home app that I'm already using. So everything's in an app.
Oh, well, actually, no, it won't.
Rip.
Maybe it will. I don't use the Nest app. So they used to have a Google Wi-Fi app, and they pulled everything into the Home app. I don't know if it works through Nest too. I'm not sure how that works. Can you control your Wi-Fi from the Nest app today?
No, because I have the Amplify.
Oh no, then it's going to go through the Home app.
I don't know. We need them all to work.
Does it work
with Matter.
with HomeKit? I don't know how that stuff works. I don't know.
Yeah. If anybody has Google
Apple
thing and a Nest, if it works through there, that's the only appealing part. But if that doesn't work, then it's like, what's the point? I could just blow all the money on alcohol and be happier for minutes.
$700 worth of alcohol. Actually, that's a good way to look at it.
How drunk can I get for 6E?
How far would you go on $700? It depends on the alcohol, I guess. We spent more than that on wine the last time we went to New York, but it will be months and months before we get through any of that. Yeah. I've been using this thing for 5 years, dude. That's a pretty good run.
That's about,
Wi-Fi has changed a lot since 5 years ago.
It has. I agree. I'm looking.
This
at it
is the thing. It is depressing. You can go to a hotel or an airport, something, or a cafe, and get way better download speeds because they're on a newer version of Wi-Fi, and you have a device that supports that, right? Because everything I'm doing is not taking advantage.
Yeah, that's the difference.
You might even argue it's professionally irresponsible not to have this because I do podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I think the difference from my end is everything that needs strong connectivity, I hardwired. All the Apple TVs in the house have hardwire. My workstation is hardwired. This machine we're talking to right now is hardwired. Yeah. So,
well, I do not have that, as you know.
You ever considered doing it? Like, running?
Oh, all the time.
Okay. Yeah, just wondering.
I had a friend's commitment to install stuff in my home for at least 9 to 10 months a couple of years ago, and then I finally just gave it back to him, and I was like, I don't know why you let me hold on to this. I don't know if you know what procrastination is, but I'm the king.
I will say that Amazon TV does look. It's a QLED. I mean, it looks like it's a good TV.
It does.
If you need
they're a lot more expensive than the existing one, but they look like they're nice. I mean, you probably spend almost $1,000 on 75 inches, I think, the big one.
That's not
65, 70.
I spent, well, it's an OLED, and I bought it 2 years ago.
No, but this is like what do they call it? QLED or something with the. No, it looks beautiful. I mean, I don't. What's from the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought this was a really interesting event. Like I said, I'm going to write about it, but there's so much to it, and there's the big obvious things like new Kindle, new Echo Dot, new whatever, and it's like, yeah, no, sure, that's great. but to me, it's like the ecosystem stuff. You know, the stuff they're doing kind of on the back end.
Yep.
Is fascinating to me, and it's you know, as a kind of a Google guy who has been thrown off by one too many bad pixels and, you know, yada yada yada. I look at what Amazon. I have the same thing like every year. It's like, ooh, here's all this stuff, and you're like, my God, they're really invested in this. Like they're super serious about it. And you know, Google has the resources, the capabilities, the AI backing, all that stuff, and they just seem to. They move so slow. It's weird.
Especially for something that's on fire. Yeah. See what I did there?
Wow.
That's why people tune in for that.
I hope not. I don't want to analyze why people would tune into this. I just want to apologize.